And
Good
welcome.
morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to View from Above. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, we're coming and we're bringing information down from the spiritual level, from the heavens, down into your life. And when we start to live our life in alignment with those truths, everything begins to change.
We love coming to you every Sunday. We love being engaged in the Spirit with you. We are here to support you. We're here to inspire you. We're here to bring you the message from the Spirit, so you can be plugged in always in everything you do. So right now, show us that you're there. Share this link right now with all your friends. Everybody needs to hear today's message. It's very important. And give us likes and give us hearts. We love your hearts. Send us more love, because more love we share with each other, more love we receive. That's the way it goes. So we're happy to be here with you guys. We're very excited about this new series that we're starting today. Ted had incredible inspiration about it. So I'm very happy to be here and excited. And I want to transfer it to you. I want it to be contagious, and I want you to feel like this is the best Sunday morning ever, because your life is about to change.
We've been having a lot of people give us great feedback on the series that we've been doing, and we've been seeing their lives change in a lot of ways. But we've also had a lot of people coming up with questions. And so today we're starting a new series, as Liza already mentioned. And this new series is called Change Your Life. This is part 1. Why change? I think there are a lot of people out there who don't understand why would they want to change their life. This is one group. The other group understands they don't like where they are, they don't like what their life is producing, but they don't know how to change. So in this series, throughout this series, we're going to be addressing that. We're going to be helping you to understand how to begin to change your life. But today we're going to talk to those people about why do we want to change? Why do we want to change our life?
There is also another group of people that are afraid of change. I met a lot of people who are so afraid of change. They're not happy with their circumstances. They're not happy with their situation, but they became so complacent and used to it. Yeah, they complain about it. They're grumpy. They're never happy. But they're so used to it that they're afraid to step out of their box. They're afraid to step out of their stinky life into the happy life. And that is the most puzzling thing, to me, always been. I understand it takes a lot of courage to move forward and take a leap of faith, but it's needed.
Really,
it's needed.
we don't want anybody to be sitting in a circumstance where you don't like your life, that you're unhappy, that you're feeling like it's going nowhere. We have too many people that they get into a job where they think they have security because they have a check coming in, and they're waiting for retirement even though they hate the job, and they go there day after day after day. And this is not the way to live. This is not the way we were intended to live our life. We should be living our life with passion, excitement. We should be pursuing our purpose. We should be doing the things that we were meant to do, that we were created to do, using your gifts and your abilities. And living in this job where you just have this check that you think brings you security, I don't think it's worth it. And I say that because I've seen too many people who've lived like that. They've lived for their retirement. And then I see them retire, and it doesn't take very long that they've planned nothing in some cases for their retirement, and those people don't seem to live very long. And it's very sad that they have lived this miserable existence of not enjoying their job, going to, you spend at least 8 hours a day at work doing something you don't like. And I don't think that's the way, I know that's not the way we were intended to live. God intended for us to live in a much greater way. He created us with a purpose. He created us with gifts. And He gives us these dreams in our heart, not to put them on the back burner till tomorrow, but He is trying to inspire us and encourage us and giving us the tools that we need in order to be able to do that, to fulfill that dream, to have that dream. Not tomorrow, but right now.
So what are we saying? We're saying that you were created for greatness. We're saying that you have certain gifts that are so important to all of us, because you are a piece of a puzzle and you have to fulfill your purpose. First step, of course, is finding out what your purpose is. But then it just takes a little bit of energizing your gifts, of finding out who you truly are, and then having a support group, having a family, like spiritual family, like we are here at Golden Heart or Dream Experts Academy. We are here as a family to help you achieve all the good things that God put in your path. And I have to tell you that you were born to succeed. Don't even think that you can be complacent and mediocre, because no, God designed you to be great, to be awesome. And one more thing, you are actually the best. How many people told you that you are the best? And you would say, oh, I compare myself to other people and I think I cannot do what they do. No, you are the best at what you are. You are you. There is no other individual like you on this planet. You are so unique, so beautiful, so powerful. You just need to realize how incredible you are. Tap into your potential. Get together with the Spirit. Get together with people who will build you up and support you. And you will succeed.
Amen. I like that. I mean, that is something, I hope you're hearing what Liza just said there. I hope you're getting excited by it. You know, and one of the things we've got to talk to you about today is that change is going to happen. Change is happening all the time. Even if you're one of those people that's afraid of change, it's going to come to you some way or another. Change is going to happen. Our bodies are changing. Our lives are changing. The way we're interacting with the world is changing, and even the people around us are changing. They always say there's one thing that we can count on, and that's change. Change is going to happen. So we're better off embracing it. And some people, they have a great life right now, and they're enjoying their life, and they want it to stay the same. And partly that's why they're fighting change. But that's not what we're meant to do either. Yes, enjoy the moment right now. Enjoy what you're having, but also begin to look towards the future, beginning to dream and believe for something even greater. Believing for something even greater, knowing that the change is going to come one way or another. And change can either happen to you, or you can make change happen. And that's one of the things.
That's profound. Say it again.
Well, change can either happen to you, meaning something can take place in your life. Okay, you lose your job unexpectedly. Change just happened to you. Or you can plan for change. You can begin to believe and dream for a better tomorrow. You can begin to dream of a great future. And now you are making change happen. So those are a couple of things that we can, it's a totally different perspective on life. Are we waiting for change to happen to us? Because change will come. You can't stay the same. But so we need to be really, I think the way God planned it for us, we should be out in front. We should already be thinking about, even if we have a fantastic life today, we should be planning even greater things for tomorrow. There are greater victories for us tomorrow. There are better jobs for us tomorrow. There is more increase coming, more happiness, more love. But we need to be planning for that. We need to be dreaming for that. We need to be believing for that. We need to be speaking words of faith over our life so that can begin to be created, so that we can start to move forward in a very powerful way.
And you need to be acting in alignment with the guidance that you're receiving. See, with God, the change is always for the better, for the best. Believe me. See, people who are having beautiful life, they think, enjoying it right now, don't want their life to change. Well, it will change anyways, but what happens is you kind of cultivating the fear of losing this life. And you know what happens? You start producing what you are afraid of. So we don't want that to happen to you. We want you to go from glory to glory, from success to success, from happiness to happiness, from love to love. With God, and when you're in tune with your spirit and your spiritual path, you only increase. It's been shown to us many times. When you are not complacent, when you are always productive, when you're inspired by the Spirit and would love to achieve more, you produce incredible results. And you go from glory to glory to glory. So increase is coming all the time. And you know what? Increase is change.
Yeah. You know, I know something about change in my life. I was thinking about, as we were preparing for this message, God began to remind me that change has happened in my life. And I was thinking about 3 particular times where there were major changes that happened. And the first one, I was a young man and I was working a job that I didn't like. And I had the steady paycheck and I had the great retirement building up already. I think I was only like 20. Well, I started that job when I was about 18. I had a salary. You know, it was the kind of stuff that my parents dreamed of. I remember, but for me, I didn't like the job. And I realized that I could not and I did not want to live for retirement. And so I chose at that point to make a change because I was unhappy with my life. And so I left that job and I began to pursue what my gifts, began to use my gifts and my abilities and pursue what I really loved, where my passion was. And I look back at that change and I realized that was a really good change. You know, that was a change that I took a hold of my life and I began to pursue and follow what I really wanted. And for you at home, if you're feeling unhappy with where you are or what you're doing, you can totally start to take control of your life and you can begin to make the change. You just have to make the decision, because I had to decide. I remember my parents were very upset with me. They didn't like the idea that I was going to leave this security, this job. I mean, you have all this. Why would you do that? I mean, to them, it didn't make sense. But for me, I knew that it was what I had to do. I had to pursue and follow my purpose.
Were you afraid?
Oh, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of fear.
Was it easy to take this leap of faith and just do it? Because not only that you've done, right? You also decided to move to a different country.
Right. That came. Yeah. That was a part of it too. There was a lot of fear involved, and there was a lot of unknown. I mean, what if I was making a mistake? What if I was leaving this job and I realized later that I had blundered and made a horrible error in my life, and then, of course, there was the question of, am I pursuing, is this my purpose? Is this where I need to go? Or will I get there and suddenly realize I'm unhappy with that? And fortunately, no, I had really prayed and meditated about it and received the guidance that was right and that this was my purpose. And yes, I did make a big move away from the country that I grew up in, away from the people that I knew, into a whole new environment. But all of that was a great, great thing. And I never regret that for one moment. I realized that was one of the powerful turning points in my life. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here today. And I would be looking back at my life, I think, totally different. Because I look back and I see a lot of victories. I look back at my life and I see a lot of great things that took place because I made that choice. Now, there was a second place where change happened in my life. And now, change can come that you see that you're not happy with your life, but also change can come as a result of a revelation. And this was something that happened to me as this was a second point where change took place, where suddenly my awareness opened up. And this is really where my spiritual journey with God began, because I went from being an atheist to being a believer in God, to seeing things beyond the physical. I only believed in the physical as an atheist, but suddenly I had this experience where my spiritual senses opened, and I now could see and feel and know and hear that there's some whole other world going on, the world of the heavens, these heavenly places. And I was having experiences with angels and with God. And so as a result of this revelation that my eyes were open to something new, I now realized my life had to change. And so my life changed as a result of this new revelation. And I started to go in a whole new direction because I felt something different. I saw something different. I thought something different. I believed something different. Because of that, again, my life made another dramatic turn. And this time it wasn't so much that at the moment that I had chosen, because after I had that revelation, it was almost like I didn't have a choice. I had to now live this new way because I now believe something different. I saw something different, and I could no longer live the way that I had been.
I can relate to that because I had to do similar steps in my life. I had to move to a totally different country, right?
Yeah.
I had to change my job. Why? Because there was something inside me that was prompting me. And I agree with you. It feels as if I did not have a choice. Well, I could choose to stay miserable and afraid, or to push through and have hope to step into something better. So I chose to step into something better. Yeah. And you know what? If you don't take this step of faith, the leap of faith, if you don't embrace the change, if you don't listen to the heart that is telling you, hey, this is your path, you need to take it, you need to be excited about building your incredible future, you will never know how beautiful and successful your life could become.
Yeah.
And you know what scares me the most? Not the errant trials and tribulations that I can encounter along the way, but what scares me the most is that if, let's say, I will be 90 or 101 years old, and I would look back in my life and say, oh my God, what was the purpose of this life?
Yeah.
I had opportunities, I had inspirations, but I never took a chance. And now I regret it. So I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to embrace the change. I want you to acquire the faith. And I want to tell you today that today your life will change. If you embrace it today with us, your life will begin to change. And at the end, we will do the incredible prayer. And your life will never be the same.
I think you're making a good point too. I think it's a great exercise for you at home to start to see yourself. If you get to that point where you're sitting in a rocking chair at the end of your life, are you going to look back at it as a great adventure, great opportunity, so much love, so much happiness, so much beauty because you made courageous choices? Or are you going to look back at your life like you were a coward and you were afraid to take the chances, you were afraid to make the choices, you tried to stick it, play it safe, and as a result of that, you now look back and realize that you missed out on a lot of things, and that what was the whole life, what was the whole purpose of? And that was something that motivated me a lot, actually, too. For even when I was a young man, I thought about that. I thought about myself sitting in a rocking chair, back on a patio, and looking back at my life and thinking, what am I going to say about my life? Well, if I stayed in that one job, for example, would I say, wow, what a great life? Or how I had done the same thing every week after week after week, and hated it? And I knew I didn't want to look back at my life and say that I'd missed out on opportunities. I didn't want to look back at my life and feel regret. I want to know that I gave it all, that I put it all the effort on the line, and I took the chances that I needed to take in order to live the life that not that you don't make mistakes along the way, but I feel like when you take those chances and you go for it, that can change everything, and it feels good. It feels incredible.
I have to tell you that with God, you're bound to succeed. Whether you want it or not, you're not alone. So when you take a leap of faith, when you receive your program, I truly believe that you receive your program as soon as you invite the Spirit to come in. As soon as you start asking for guidance, the whole universe begins to conspire to arrange everything for you. Angels come and help you. So many times we had experiences with angels, right? They come and they help and they arrange and they speak into people's ears. Like they create partnerships for you. You just have to be active and proactive and decisive, and know that you have to achieve incredible things. You're set up for great opportunities. Take them, receive them. It's incredible life when you live it according to your purpose.
Now, as I said, I was going down a list of 3 things that changed. Now, a third change I made. Now, this change became because it was part of the plan of God. And this is when I chose to marry Liza. Oh. And that was the third big change in my life, because I now was no longer walking alone, but I chose to walk with a beautiful, wonderful partner that God put there for me. But that was in seeing the plan of God, in seeing that there was a greater vision for my life, not a life of being alone, but a life of being together with the right person. And God revealed to me that she was the right person. And so, of course, here we are. And that was my third big change. But I'm going to tell you that, change is going to happen to you one way or another. Sometimes you can't control the circumstances and the situation. Sometimes you're going to lose the partner that you love. They're going to leave unexpectedly. Or you're going to lose the job that you've been so desperately hanging on to. It's just going to go away. These things we can't control. I remember the story of Joseph. Joseph had a life. This is the Joseph of many colors. He had a life where he thought everything was going to be good. He had just had this dream about he's going to be doing great things, and everybody's going to be bowing down to him. So he knew he was going to have a very high position. And here, what happens? All of that's taken away. He's sold into slavery by his brothers. He didn't see that coming, I bet, right? But change happened to him, and it wasn't a good change. And then change happened to him again. He found a position where he's now working in Potiphar's house as a slave, but he's the top guy. He's able to make all these decisions. And again, Potiphar's wife lies about him and gets him thrown into prison. Again, change happened to him. So you can't always control the circumstances. But ultimately, he did get to the point where God had the plan for him, because when he was called out of the dungeon to talk about Pharaoh's dream, he received an appointment to the highest position. He was now only below Pharaoh, and he was able to now rule over Egypt as a result of that. So
I believe it happened to him because he kept his vision alive.
Absolutely.
The vision that God downloaded into his spirit, he kept it alive. And no matter where he was trying to do the best job possible. He was never complaining. He was never talking badly about people. He was never gossiping. He was in every situation trying to be the best he could, and he succeeded. It just unbelievable to me how when he was a slave, God called him what? A successful man.
Right. Well, yeah, when he had nothing.
Isn't that amazing?
Successful man.
Successful man is not defined or bound by the circumstances of his life. Successful man is holding on to the vision in his heart, on the vision for his future, and does the best at any situation. And trust me and believe that when you do that, just these few little things, get together with God and incredible people. Ask, inquire about your vision for the future, your purpose. Stick to it, hold on to it, keep it alive, water it with faith, with love, with great company, and you will succeed. And start taking steps to improve it, to improve everything you do. Every job that you take, you have to do the best. Give it 100% and you will succeed. See, to good people, incredible things are planned in the future. I have to tell you today that your future is great. Success is in your stars. You will succeed. There is no way around it. If you need healing today, you will receive it. That will be a great change. See, the change does not have to be bad. The change could be for the best, for the better. Not only you, but also for your children, for your parents, for your relatives, for your friends, for everybody. You can be a catalyst of good change. All you have to do is just open your heart, receive the Spirit, embrace the thought that the change is for the better, and start working towards your incredible future. God prepared it for you. You will step into great situations. You will receive incredible abundance. You will be united with your partner, just like Ted and I. We were inquiring, we were asking, we were doing our best in every situation, and then we were brought together. Why? Because we wanted to live our purpose. And when you do that, God doesn't want you to do it alone. See, He wants to help you and support you, and He starts bringing a great partner into your life. He starts bringing incredible people to help you along the way, because He wants you to succeed. You're bound to succeed. Just accept that thought. You're bound to be healthy, you're bound to be happy, and you're bound to restore and create beautiful things around you. That's just the kind of person you are. And today you will receive a great change. And be excited about it, because I'm already excited for myself and Dad and everybody around us, and I am really excited for you.
I can already feel, as we're speaking, I can feel the Spirit beginning to move. For those of you that are watching, you're going to start to feel the strength of the Spirit begin to move in you, because when we talk about why, change your life, and now we're talking about why change. Change is going to happen to you one way or another. It's better to be a part of the plan of God. It's better for you to be planning your future and working with God towards that positive change than trying to hold on to something that is fleeting, that is going to change anyway. Let it go. But it takes courage. And that's what the Spirit is doing right now. It's beginning to build courage inside of you. I want you to start to feel the power of the courage beginning to grow inside of you, the Spirit, growing inside of you right now. Because when I made these changes in my life, these were major life changes. It wasn't that there wasn't some fear there. It wasn't that there wasn't doubt there. It wasn't that I could have made a mistake. It could have been the wrong thing. You know, those thoughts are there. But what overrode that was the whole belief in seeing a greater future for myself and in taking up and grasping hold of the courage and the strength that the Spirit was giving me. And I knew that no matter what, it was better for me to act on that courage than to not act at all. It was better for me to take the leap of faith, to take a chance, to go out there on a limb and try something than sit there afraid and just say, okay, well, at least I'm secure. Because that's not security. That's misery. And I didn't want a part of that. I wanted to live a life of adventure. I want to live a life of goodness. I want to live a life of love with my partner. And that's what I'm encouraging you today, right now, to do right now, today. Why change? Because there are always greater things for you. It doesn't matter how great your life is. You might be sitting at home and listening to me and thinking, but Ted, I've got a great house. I've got I'm financially secure. Why should I change my life? Because there's even greater things. You might be sitting there and have a wonderful partner sitting beside you filled with love. All you have to start to do is believe, because God even has greater things. You can take that love and move it to the next level. I mean, this is the thing, is that change is a part of the plan of God, yes. And we should be changing. You can't stop yourself from changing. Our bodies are changing all the time. Our thoughts are changing all the time, and our lives will be changing all the time. It's better to get on board with the plan of God, be filled with the courage, and begin to believe and receive what was planned for you so that you can continue to climb higher and higher and higher. Feel the Spirit as it begins to move in you. I know there's going to be thoughts of doubt and fear. I want you to let those go. Start to focus on what you're planning and where you're going. Get a revelation. When you get a revelation like I did, change becomes very easy. Remember Paul, the apostle? He received a revelation. He was on the road to Damascus, and he was all set. He knew what his life was about. He was out there going to get these guys that were followers of Jesus, and he was going to persecute them. But then he encountered Jesus on that road in the Spirit, and as a result, the veil was lifted from his eyes, and he got a revelation about what the truth was and what the plan for his life was, and it changed him immediately. When you get a revelation of what God has for you, there will be an immediate change for you. You will feel it, and it will happen automatically. That's what happened to me when I had revelation. My life just had to change. It couldn't stay the same. And the same happened for Paul too. It'll happen for you too. Start to feel the Spirit moving. Start to feel the strength building up in you. Let that courage build up, because the courage is seeing the vision and knowing without a doubt, knowing where God is taking you, knowing that there is a higher power, a greater possibility for you, and it's waiting for you. Start to let that fire move in you. Start to let that strength move in you, because you can step into a greater life than you ever thought possible. I think it's time for you to pray, Liza.
All right.
Now the Spirit is moving in you. I want you to close your eyes. And Liza's going to pray a powerful prayer for you today. We asked today, this was part one, and we said, why change? Change is going to happen one way or another. Today we're encouraging you to step forward, accepting and receiving great changes in your life, wondrous things in your life. Right now, as you close your eyes, I want you to begin to envision, begin to see what excites you, what you've been dreaming of. You don't have to wait till you retire. You don't have to wait for tomorrow. You can begin to believe and receive this right now. You can begin to believe for it to happen, because as Liza said, all the forces will begin to work together. All the power of heaven and earth will begin to move for you when you step into that power with the Spirit moving upon you. As Liza prays right now, I want you to see very clearly what God has prepared for you, what you've been believing for in your life, what you've been dreaming for. Is it the perfect partner, loving and caring, that you can walk hand in hand with? I believe that, and here I am. Is it following or fulfilling the purpose, using your gifts and your abilities that God has given you? I believe that, and here I am. Is it that you want to step into something greater? Whatever it is, I want you to start to see it right now as your eyes are closed. And now hear these words that Liza prays. And let the Spirit move in you. Let it be released out upon this vision, upon this dream, so that it can be transformed totally and completely. That your life can be transformed. That the walls will be broken down and you'll begin to move forward swiftly. Nothing stopping you. Moving on all levels in Jesus' name. Go.
Dear Heavenly Father, I proclaim great change. I proclaim that people will start gathering together.
Amen.
To gather their forces in your name. And I proclaim that the Spirit is moving right now in this wonderful people that are in this, under the sound of my voice. When you're under the sound of my voice, you're receiving the seed of change right now. The seed of love is activating, and they're getting together and bringing together a new transformation. They're bringing love into your life. You're receiving your partner. You're receiving opportunities. Nothing too small, nothing too big.
Amen.
One of you were praying for a car. You're receiving this car right now.
Receive
it will come like a lightning to you. You were praying for a house. You're receiving your house.
Thank you, God.
You were praying for a small thing in an envelope. You will receive 1 million of them. God is saying, oh, that is a letter from your loved one. You received the note right now. Things are happening already. See, I proclaim good change in your life. I proclaim incredible change in your life. I proclaim a breakthrough in your life. And I believe it and you receive it in Jesus' name. Amen.
You go now. Now get up and go. Start to take action now based on what we have said, and let that change move forward. I felt the Spirit moving as Liza was praying very powerfully, and I know that it's unlocked doors for you. I know that the way is open for you now. Now, start to focus on the strength and the courage. Start to look towards that brighter future and begin to move right now towards it. Take the steps required, because it's going to all begin to transpire together to work for you. All things are working together for good for those who love God.
We love you guys. Stay with us. Stay together. Surround yourself with people who will build you up. Focus on your vision. You will fulfill it. And you are bound to succeed. You are the creation of the Most High God. You are the most beautiful thing in the universe, and you are the best. Never forget that. We love you. And we are so happy to be here with you every Sunday.
Thank you for joining us on View from Above. Come back next week because we're going to continue this series on Change Your Life.